Weirdmageddon 3 Taking Back the Falls is the 20th episode of Gravity Falls second season, 40th overall, and the series finale. In it, Bill tries to escape and spread Weirdmageddon worldwide, and it's up to the gang to save humanity. Shenanigans and sadness ensue. The episode picks up right at the end of the last part, minus the multi-bear bathroom gag, as everyone hugs Stan. We also see a bunch of Lilliputians from the Gulf War in the shack. And I guess because of Weirdmageddon, they got over what the Pine Twins Pacifica did to them.
And is Pacifica wearing a potato sack?
Hey, even in a sack, I still look better than you.
They also have the wax head of Larry Keene from Headhunters, who's still in the vents from season 1.
Hey, is anyone going to feed me? Larry King's disembodied wax head wants num-nums.
There's actually a lot of people hiding out in the shack, such as Pacifica's friends, Gorney from Summerween, several times minus a guy, Rumble McSkirmish, and even another unicorn who is partially frozen. The shack is still protected by the force field from last Mabel corn, and Stan just wants to bunker in. We see McGucka playing with his laptop, and in their kindling they have a vote Tyler, or don't. This is until Chandra Jimenez reports about Bill's throne, which gives the Mystery Twins an opportunity to rally the troops. Meanwhile, Ford is unfrozen and Bill sings We'll Meet Again. Even this little bit, and even still with Disney, this was a big copyright concern because that cost a lot of money and was a lot convincing by Alex Hirsch to actually go through with it. Turns out Bill's from a two-dimensional reality and he wants to liberate this dimension as well. But he's stuck in a parameter around Gravity Falls. Ford knows how to pop the bubble, but he refuses to tell Bill. Meanwhile, the crew in the shack, they put together a blueprint. They come up with a plan to build a giant mechanical robot to fight Bill's henchmen, enter the pyramid, save everyone, profit. They raid the junkyard and we get a montage. Pacifica is a Pegasister. Stan is concerned that he's getting his stuff raided. Zeus shows McGuckick anime. The anime they're watching appears to have Eva Unit 2 from Evangelion and Mega Man 64. Zeus also references gun swords. They have a campfire and sweater break. We see the bouncer with a cat palm tattoo, the America guy, Captain Poolcheck from the deep end huddle around a pit. Kind of amazed he didn't burn his hand. Gideon's dad sitting a little whiles away, burning some Gideon dolls. And we see Shackbot, built from random parts such as the Gravity Falls sign, the little Gideon sign, Zeus's pickup truck, Gideon's robot from Gideon Rising, the shack itself, Manly Dan's logging truck, parts from the portal, a partially frozen and amber T-Rex from Land Before Swine, and the Gobblewonker from Legends of the Gobblewonker. Inside, everyone's piloting it. Notably, Grenda and Candy are piloting it with power gloves and DDR stands, which is meant to be a kind of reference to Pacifica Rim, a kind of popular film from the time trying to bring giant robots versus monsters to the mainstream. In it, the giant robots, known as Jaegers, are piloted typically by two people who mind meld and kind of drive it. Originally, there were supposed to be more references to Pacific Rim, which Alex talks about in the commentary.
He's like, all right, and the only way the biometric brain machine works is if two twins control it with their minds concurrently. And Dipper and Mabel are like, why would you build a machine like that?
What?
It seems incredibly complicated. He's like, yeah, don't think about it too hard. You'll ruin the whole thing. And then I learned Guillermo del Toro was a big fan, and I felt...
Which, being that person about it, the only actual Jaeger piloted by twins, well, in Pacific Rim triplets, is the Chinese giant robot Crimson Typhoon. And also because the person I am, a giant robot piloted by twins is just like the Wraith Knights in Warhammer 40k. And just like every good faction, they created their own flag about it. It's fun, it combines a lot of the character symbols like Zeus's question mark, Ford's six-finger hand, Mabel's shooting star, two pine trees for the two sets of twins, and Take Back the Falls like the episode title. They square off with the giant monsters, and we get the best fight scene in the entire series set to a rock remix of the intro. It's just cool seeing all the characters have their own little moments, even Rumble McSkirmish and Wendy taking control of one of the Bat Eyes, and several times running on a treadmill. Ford is frozen again, and Bill goes to deal with them, and then they rip Bill's eye out, because the main body of the shack is still protected by the spell. Dipper gets the flashlight from Little Dipper, which I guess he did rebuild because Zeus is proper size again. Zeus gets the memory gun, Mabel gets the grappling hook, and they parachute in with parachutes made from all of her old sweaters, which they're kind of made out of wool, so I don't know if they would be great material for parachutes. Whatever, they rescue everyone. Gideon's tired of his cute shtick. Tad Strange was added last minute because the fandom did their thing with Tad Strange, and they thought it would be funny to bring him back one more time. McGucket forgives Ford as he's rescued, and Ford comes up with a plan to use the Cypher Wheel. It turns out the Cypher Zodiac is actually Bill's sealing circle. The Cypher Circle has been in the show since the absolute beginning. I think I talked about it, but it's the end of the show, might as well talk about it again. That the Cypher Wheel we see in the intro for literally a second was originally supposed to be a six-finger hand, but then the show Fringe did it instead, so they had to last minute take a bunch of assets and Bill, throw them onto a circle, and see if anyone would notice. They had absolutely zero plan to use it or what it would mean, kind of just like with Bill. So that's why we see it in Dreamscape Horrors. Bill uses it kind of like a teleport circle. And then even in Stanchurian Enchanted It, Gideon uses it as a summoning circle. Because even very late in production, Alex Hirsch and crew didn't really know what they were going to do with it. And they turned to the fandom and see what they thought of it. So yeah, some symbols are obvious, like the pine tree is Dipper, the shooting star is Mabel, the question mark is Soos, the stitched heart is Robbie, the other star is Gideon, the six-finger hand is obviously Ford, the Shriner symbol is of course Stan, the glasses are technically Ford's glasses, but who else is going to be the six-finger hand, so they had to give the glasses to someone else, and they went with McGucket. The ice bag going to Wendy's because the only scenes with an ice bag in the series, and the inconvenience scene in The Time Traveler's Pig involved Wendy. And Pacifica's the llama because they needed an extra person, and Pacifica's popular. But then one of the staffs, Jeff Rowe, came up with an idea that, just like llamas, Pacifica is beautiful and has nice hair, but is stubborn and spits a lot. They lock hands and the spell starts, but then Stan and Ford still can't get along to just hold hands for a second. To save the world, Bill realizes what's going on and stops everyone. And right here, the episode pauses because this is actually a double-length episode. So in reruns, the episode was stopped here, and then we get a part 4 somewhere in the woods. So depending on how you want to look at it, there's technically 21 episodes in Season 2 and 41 in Gravity Falls overall. But it wasn't originally like that, so let's just continue. And yes, there inevitably was the kid who only saw Part 1 and thought everyone died. Bill captures everyone and tries to get Ford to play ball again. Mabel sprays him in the eye with spray paint, which gives him enough time to shrink down and escape. They come up with a plan to run away. Stan and Ford are locked away as Bill chases after the mystery twins, and honestly, this is a kind of scary scene. This giant monster chasing after the twins in his unfamiliar layout. Mabel uses the grappling hook. Stan and Ford have reflections about their past and kind of apologize to each other. They come up with a plan. Bill comes back with the mystery twins, and Ford actually surrenders and lets Bill enter his mind. Bill's physical body becomes a statue as he enters. And twist, it was actually Stan. They did the old twin switcheroo. It wasn't just an animation mistake on their fingers. And Ford reluctantly blasts Stan with the memory gun, erasing his memories of himself, with Bill trapped inside Stan's brain as it slowly burns away.
You're a real wise guy, but you made one fatal mistake. You messed with my family.
Much like the shapeshifter and Into the Bunker, Bill tries transforming to escape, but it doesn't work. Reverse, reverse!
Hey, Axolotl! My time has come to burn! I invoke the ancient power that I may return! Yeah!
Invoking the ancient power to Axolotl to return. I always knew Axolotls were gods. I mean, that's just basic Aztec mythology. Stan punching Bill was a last-second addition to the scene, and then we get the saddest scene in the entire show.
Guess I was good for something after all.
All of Bill's friends are sent back to where they came from, everyone is freed, the town's reset, and I guess also the weirdness of the town fades away because the Dream Boys fade away as well as Rumble McSkirmish. Bill's physical form's a statue in the middle of the woods. But Stan sacrificed all of his memories to save the world, and he doesn't remember anyone. And the shack is completely wrecked. They try jogging his memories, so Mabel breaks out the scrapbook, showing day 1 of them arriving, with Dipper wearing his OG hat. New hat, so this photo is after Tourist Trap. Photos from Land Before Swine, as well as a photo from Love God. Photos from Gobblewonker. And eventually, Stan gets his memories back, first starting with Waddles. It's an incredibly emotional scene, acted perfectly. But I don't know, maybe I am just that heartless, and I think it would have been a bittersweet and better ending if Stan just completely brain dead after all of this. Meanwhile, the rest of the town decides we're not going to talk about it, we're going back to normal. We see a zombie from Scarioki being dealt by Robbie's parents, including a zombie of the mayor, and Blubs and Durlin confess their love for each other. It's a cute little bit. There might be something to say that the only actual on-screen gay couple in the show are the 2 dumb cops, but whatever. The Northwest lose all their money and their estate, and Pacifica has to get a job, which Alex confirmed was with Lazy Susan. McGuckin's taken over Northwest Manor. Bodacious T's here to stay. Gideon's gonna try and be a normal kid, but with a bodyguard of criminals. Mabel smashes the memory gun. Gideon's mom's even smiling for once. And Dipper and Mabel have their 13th birthday. They get Ghost Harassers on DVD and a putt-putt golf club. But there's still some weirdness going on in the sea, and Ford decides to bring Stan along. Stan puts Zeus in charge of the Mystery Shack when he's gone, and 1 week later the Mystery Twins packed up. Originally there was supposed to be a full epilogue episode where we saw the Mystery Twins packing up and they felt bad that they were leaving, but then because of the Weirdmageddon time bubbles, they fall through one, and ended up on their first day in Gravity Falls before the first episode, and show they have grown so much since then because neither of them wanted to be here originally. I kind of wish we got that, but whatever. Mabel says goodbye to her friends. Stan's wearing a silly sweater. Wendy says goodbye to Dipper, swaps hats with him, and gives him a letter. They say goodbye to their grunkle as the bus arrives. The bus driver is played by Dale Cooper, the main character from Twin Peaks, a massive inspiration on the show. They drive away and we kind of get a come along with me moment. We see what I guess is now McGuckin Manor, Schmebulon and Schmebulon Jr., Multi-Bear, a Manicorn, the messed up cow, and a bunch of gnomes waving. Zeus dressed like Stan, and him and his girlfriend completely took over the shack, but still pay tribute to Stan. Stan and Ford out at sea on the Stan of War 2. On the bus, Dipper opens the letter. See you next summer. Durlin, Schmebulok, Zeus, Thompson, Gideon, Stan come back soon, Tyler, Philford, Grenda, Hugs, Stan Ford, Wendy, stay cool, Robbie, Skull, Candy Heart, Nate, Lee, Zeus, bye, Blubs, Pacifica with a little heart on the eye. The bus drives off, and we get full movie-style credits, scrapbook style. This little piece of jacket's actually really significant.
I used to wear, believe it or not, I used to wear this really big, really ratty flannel jacket. I wore it every single day, 24/7. I'd been wearing it since college because, like, there's a girl I had a crush on, and I wore the jacket, and then she liked me. And so I said, oh, I don't want to mess with success. I'm going to keep wearing this jacket forever. And it was getting gross.
It was just this grimy old thing that it was his uniform. It was like, he's like, you know, it was a cartoon character you pull out of the closet, has a plaid jacket, you know, and that's it.
And that girl who is now my girlfriend was like, when are you going to get rid of the jacket? And I said, if Gravity Falls gets greenlit, we'll go and burn the jacket. I grabbed all my friends, we got in a van, we drove out to Vasquez Rocks out in the desert, we brought some lighter fluid, we brought a trash can, we burned my flannel jacket in the full moon and danced around it, howling and cackling.
Goodbye, good friend.
And we all got, this is so gross, well, we got a piece of your jacket, and in the very last episode, that credit scroll, that piece of jacket in the first frame is that same jacket.
I can see Dipper doing something similar with Wendy's hat. We see Ford making hand turkeys, them celebrating the 4th of July, McGucket and his son reuniting, Stan using the grappling hook. We even see Quentin Tremblay in Dipper 3 and 4. This is the first time we've seen them since season 1. Originally, they were supposed to be a gag episode where they're at Camp Loose Ends. We see Candy and the girls hanging out, Brenda and Marius hanging out, Mabel eating the sun, and the twins making it back home in Piedmont, California. Emmy Ciceriga, who did the end credits for the episode, uploaded the storyboards to her YouTube. Some of them are slightly different, and we even see some additional ones, such as the mystery twins and Zeus getting marker tattoos, Mabel and Philipford having a dance contest, Dipper of one of those tubers that wrap around you, Mabel doing Robbie's nails, clearly giving them pink nails, shopping cart race, everyone was hanging out with Grenda and Marius, the Sand Bros trying to get a girl, Pterodactyl Bros, Pines fishing, Mabel getting braids, Stan was originally going to eat the sun, Mabel had originally had sparklers rather than gummy worms in her nose during the 4th of July, Dipper accidentally discovers the real Gobblewonker, they enjoyed a watermelon jack-o'-lantern from Summerween, and finally, originally, Mabel was going to show off the scrapbook to her class and say that was what she did over summer. Also, she has waddles. I really wish they kept that last part about Mabel showing her class, because it does make me think before I learn about this, what did Dipper and Mabel tell everyone about their time in Gravity Falls? I don't know, kind of like that regular show episode with the grilled cheese, and Mabel is telling all the truth, and it's crazy. But then Dipper says, we just sat around all the time, and then we went fishing. Then at the very end of the credits, we see a live-action statue of Bill Cipher. To find out more about this, just watch the Cipher Hunt video. Final Mabel outfit check. Mabel's wearing her birthday sweater from the last 4 episodes. Then everyone else gets sweaters and campfire. Zeus has a pink tiger on yellow. Wendy has a green sweater with an axe on it. Blubs has a really cute pink sweater that says Save Durlin. The multi-bear has a purple sweater with a pan rainbow on it. McGucket has a red sweater with a pink raccoon on it. Bodacious T has a black sweater with a skull and a little pink and purple trail on it. One of the Manticores has like a Valentine's sweater that's red with hearts and a little bear on it. And then the other one has a full-on ugly Christmas sweater. Pacifica has a llama sweater from Headhunters. Mabel gets her classic shooting star. Candy has just a candy seafoam green sweater. In the credits, we see Mabel wearing her American flag sweater from the Stanchurian candidate. I think this one is the basketball sweater. If you watch the Split Up episode using the key Shacktron, we get one code. Zeus later forced McGucket to watch all 900 hours of Neon Crisis Mecha Boy Boy Revelations. In the age of streaming, you can get that done in like 4 days. Our page is 10 symbols placed around a wheel. Hand in hand, they'll bond to seal, but break the chain and pay the cost. The prophecy will be all lost. If you watch the full episode, the key is Axolotl. The code here on the bus seat says, Secrets lost and status found beyond the rusty gates, which relates to the Cipher Hunt. Our last code is, Goodbye Gravity Falls. Our last page appropriately is a pine tree, and it says, Faded pictures bleached by the sun, the tales told, the summer's done. In memories the pines still play on a sunny summer day. And if we take all the pages from Season 2 and connect them, along with random pictures throughout the episodes, we also get Stan Ford's face. And that was Gravity Falls.
But I don't want to say goodbye to Gravity Falls.
First off, this episode's perfect. But so is Gravity Falls in general. I love this ending. I love seeing all the characters having a heartwarming goodbye and seeing them being happy where they are now. I love all the callbacks. I love the emotion. I love the action. I love the ending. Gravity Falls is an incredibly special show, not just to me, but to the animation industry. The early 2010s was definitely a media renaissance. And along with Adventure Time and regular show, Gravity Falls kicked off the animation renaissance of the 2010s. Or more so than any other decade, shows started to become more and more influenced by anime by having long-running storylines and connections to past episodes. With actually meaningful character development, it wasn't all just silly stories to sell toys. Even if most of these shows started off goofy, silly, lol random, it eventually did become more serious over time, which many shows still do. I really wish we got a 3rd season. But unlike a lot of shows that get canceled for dumb reasons, Gravity Falls ended on Alex Hirsch's terms. He, young, unexperienced showrunner who was tearing his hair out and working long hours just to finish a few episodes in season 1. Season 2 almost broke him. So he ended on his own terms, getting at least 80% of what he wanted to do with Gravity Falls out of the way. And ultimately, I think that's admirable. Yeah, I would still have loved Gravity Falls to go on for 6 seasons in a movie, but not every show needs to be. I'm glad we got the show we got. For all its ups and downs, overall, Gravity Falls is one of the best shows ever made, not just animated, but in general. Yes, I'll be talking about Lost Legends.